BlackRock is the world's largest money manager, managing over $10 trillion in assets. Just to put this into perspective, that's more than the market capitalization of Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, and you could probably throw in Saudi Arabian oil as well, which comes in at a measly $1.94 trillion. And that was as of 2021. Not only this, but their proprietary technology platform called Aladdin manages $21.6 trillion, as it's used by many different investment banks and money managers, including Vanguard and State Street. So what do you have to do to pass the first round interview for BlackRock? Well, it's actually surprisingly simple, and it has been since 2022 when BlackRock started using what is quite unique to them. It's known as a virtual cover letter. Now this is done through a high view video interview, which is an asynchronous video interview. What does this mean? Well, it basically means a one-way video where a question is displayed on the screen and you get a certain amount of time to prepare and a certain amount of time to answer. Now, luckily enough, in your case for BlackRock, it's just 2 questions and you get 3 minutes to prepare and 90 seconds to answer. So what do you need to know to pass this interview? Well, first of all, the questions that came up have been reasonably similar for the past 2 years, which is, why do you want to work at BlackRock? Tell me something about yourself that's not on your CV. What's been your biggest achievement? Or why do you want to do this job? Now, I know that I said 2 questions and I've just talked about 4 questions, but of course this is a question bank and the questions could change. And we're going to cover how to answer these questions. Now, first of all, a couple more facts about BlackRock. BlackRock owns significant controlling shares in many major broadcasters, including Disney, CBS, and Comcast, anywhere between 10 and 18%. BlackRock is also one of the biggest shareholders and controlling interest in the German stock exchange known as the DAX. And finally, during the financial crisis of 2008, BlackRock were known as the Ghostbusters of Wall Street, working in conjunction with the Federal Reserve and Wall Street to analyze and also invest in different mortgage-backed security bundles. How do we go about answering these questions about BlackRock? So first of all, why do you want to work for BlackRock? Now, I've given you 5 or 6 different facts. I always want you to think about 5 fast facts when answering about a company. Now, basically this means 15 minutes of research, half an episode of Netflix out of your life to just go online and do some good research. Now, if you can't be bothered to do that, then you can just download our BlackRock Pass the Interview Pack, where we've created lots of different documents which has fact sheets and sample answers and so on and so forth. But if you don't want to buy something, then just don't be lazy and say, I want to work at BlackRock because it's really, really big and they manage lots of money and stuff, which surprisingly is an answer that many people would give. But basically find out 4 or 5 facts that fit within the 90 seconds that you're going to answer. They should be compelling, they should be unique, and show that you've done a little bit more than just look at their Wikipedia page. Question number 2, tell me something about yourself that's not on your CV. Now, I really like this question, and I feel that when people present CVs, particularly young people, they tend to be padded a little bit. They're like, well, you know, I helped these children and I built this school and I did this. And really, when you break it down, they kind of went there for 3 hours and just sort of gave a kid a cup of milk or something. So something that's not on your CV, a good way to think about this is, what is your greatest achievement? Something that reveals a bit of your character, a bit of who you are. So maybe you've published a book of poetry, or you've walked a really long distance, or you were a high school athlete. Just something that maybe didn't make it. And a good thing to really talk about is why this made you proud, why this is the first thing that you think about. And I urge you to look internally to something that you genuinely think, wow, that's pretty cool. Question number 3, why do you fit for this role? And this is very much the same as, why do you want to do this job, or what makes you a good fit for this job, or why are you the right person for this job? And this is a 2-part answer. Number 1, just explain what you would do in the job. And you can get that from the job description. You don't have to fit everything in. Very often when people be like, well, the job description's really long. How am I meant to say all of that in 9 seconds? Just choose. like 4 or 5 things and speak about that for half the time, for 45 seconds. Now, the other 45 seconds you should use to pick out 2 or 3 skills which you think, wow, these skills are super important for this job, and just use a sentence and experience to demonstrate the proof that you have this skill. For example, if you said to me, I can jump 9 feet, then I might point at a basketball hoop and say, well, dunk the basketball then. If you can't do that, then I don't believe you and you're a liar. Question number 4. Now this one is split into 2, which is what is your biggest achievement, or could be what is your biggest failure. Now we kind of already covered the biggest achievement. The biggest failure is something that I really enjoy, because this really goes to speak to your resilience as a person, and also how vulnerable you're willing to be. Everybody's had a failure, everybody's had a setback, maybe not from the outside, but internally, in terms of our expectations and what we wanted to do. Everybody's had something that they were aiming for and they didn't quite get to that thing. Now, this is a good opportunity not to see it as a failure or weakness, but as a lesson. What did you learn? You expected to do something, to get somewhere, to be somebody. That didn't happen. What did you learn, and how did you course correct from this to get the result that you wanted? That's all for BlackRock. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to know more and all the help that you need to prepare, check out the Pass the Interview pack down in the link in the description below. If you like this video, please click like, because it helps other people to find it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. It costs you nothing and it makes me happy. Okay, bye.